Mass manufacturing focuses on running the machines continuously with very less number of changeovers. The idea is to improve the overall productivity of the machine to get more output. When we do multiple changeovers, mass manufacturers think that the output is reduced. But Lean talks about increasing the number of changeovers. So this is slightly a counter-intuitive approach. If we increase the number of changeovers, the output of the machine will reduce. That's what a traditional mass manufacturer thinks, right? But Lean talks about reducing the changeover time and increasing the number of changeovers so that we will be able to fulfill the customer's requirement in a better way. So we become more flexible. This is one of the counter-intuitive approach of Lean manufacturing. Hi there, welcome to Lean Factory. My name is Anand, your Lean manufacturing implementation partner. Today in this particular video, we are going to talk about a book called The Toyota Way. It is written by Mr. Jeff Flicker. He is one of the foremost authority of Lean manufacturing, and he is one of the persons who visited Toyota's units, and he and James Shook and other eminent personalities, they coined the word Lean manufacturing, and his book is called The Toyota Way. It is one of the most referred books and kind of a guide for many Lean practitioners. And today we are going to look at the basic 14 principles which are explained in that particular book. So come, let's get started. The 14 principles which are explained in the Toyota Way is actually they can be grouped into 4 major categories. The first one is the philosophy. The second one is the process, the setting the process right. And the third one is people and partners. And the fourth point is the problem solving methodology. So we can call it as a 4P approach: philosophy, processes, people and partners, and then problem solving. So the first point in the Toyota Way principle, the guiding principle, is base your management decision on long-term philosophy, even at the expenses of short-term financial goals. The company talks about focusing on the long-term rather than the immediate short-term benefits. There are many decisions, many examples which are given in the book. When they want to venture into a very high, premium car like the Lexus brand. Again, they did a lot of study and survey. They compared BMWs, Mercedes, and other large, luxury car companies, and then they took a decision that we will create a car which is like it will be not only a competitor, but it will be even better than the German luxury cars. So the idea is, instead of short term, look at the long term, and this is reflecting in all their decisions. What the principle explains is work, grow and align the whole organization towards the common purpose. That is the vision of the company, rather than some short term goals. Create the value for customer, society and economy, and improve the skills continuously and adding value to the company's growth. So this is the first principle, and this is for the philosophy part, the first P of the Toyota Way principle. And next, if you look at, we are now going to talk about the processes. When we come to the processes, the second point is creating continuous flow to bring problems to the surface. If you look at Toyota Way or the Lean manufacturing itself, the fundamental idea is creating the flow, creating continuous flow so that problems come out of the surface. Why the problems come out of the surface? Because we are reducing the WAP. So obviously the problems will come out, and then we can take solutions to solve those problems. So the idea is to redesign the process to achieve the continuous flow, create flow to move the materials and information fast, and link processes and people so that the problems will come out, right? So this is the first step in process. The moment we create the continuous flow, what we also need to do is create pull production to avoid overproduction. This overproduction is one of the ways which create a lot of WAP. So when we do pull production, the WAP comes down, right? And this is one of the reasons why the problems come to the surface. When the problems come to the surface, we can take action. Provide downstream customers in the process with what they want, when they want, and the quantity they want. And materials will be replenished by just-in-time production. We know about Kanban systems and supermarket systems which will help in this just-in-time production. And the fourth point is level out the workload. That is Heijunka, leveling out the load. And there is one interesting point mentioned there, that is work like a tortoise, not like a hare. Hare runs fast initially, but then there is a lot of stoppages. But a tortoise move slowly but steadily. And Heijunka here is produce the components in small batches, and when we produce small batches, obviously the number of changeovers is going to be high, so the time taken per changeover should be reduced, right? So whenever the customer requires a product, we can produce and give, so more flexible we become. This is what I explained in the introduction part also. So lean talks about reducing the changeover time but increasing the number of changeovers. Eliminating waste is one part of the lean, but streamlining the process and eliminating the overburden to people and equipment, that is also important. Small batch processes can be done, meeting the demand with less overproduction, without overproduction. For example, if I want 100 numbers of product A and 100 numbers of product B, and if I produce 10 pieces per day, right? The first piece will take 10 days to produce, and then only I will produce the next 10 pieces, 100 pieces of product B. But instead, if I can produce one product A and one product B, and another product A, another product B, I can meet the customer demand in a much easier way. So lean is talking about that, being more flexible, right? So this is the fourth point. And then the fifth one is building a culture of stopping to fix the line, so that we are getting the quality right at the first time. This is a problem which all these manufacturing companies, they try to avoid. They don't want line stoppages, right? But lean is slightly counterintuitive, and they say if there is a problem in the line, stop the line, fix the problem, and then start. The reason why we don't want to stop the line is when we stop the line, the entire line's production will stop. But lean talks about, right, the quality. If the quality is not right, the defect pieces is going to all the places, right, all the operations, and then it becomes a bigger issue. So fix the quality first and then run the line. If there is an issue, just stop the line and then fix the quality problem and then start running the line. So quality drives value to the customer, and Jidoka or automation, that is the missions with little bit of intelligence, so that they detect the problem and then they stop. They don't overproduce the defects. So that is very, very important. In fact, the foundation for this Jidoka or automation is the Toyota's looms, which were invented in 1920s by Sakichi Toyoto, right? When he created the looms, the world's first power looms which stop when there is a thread breakage. So these looms will stop so that they don't produce the defect pieces. So this is very, very important activity, and in fact, this is the foundation of Pokayoke, which we are now using in many industries. And then the sixth point is standardize the tasks, right? Standardizing the work activity lays the foundation for continuous improvement. If the production schedule can be standardized for a particular activity, it is very easy for the operator to keep continuing the same thing, right? There is no variation in the processes. So standardized tasks are the foundation of continuous improvement. So stabilizing and repeatable methods are important to maintain the predictability, timing, and the output of the processes. And standardized task means it is a prescribed, proper and exact way of doing the things, right? And so that anybody can be trained easily, there will not be any error, and if there is an issue, it can be easily found out by the operator. So standardizing the task is very, very important. And the next one is use visual control, so no problems are hidden, right? What is this visual control? Visual controls like color coding, labeling, right, and Kanban cards. These are all the visual indicators that help in following the workflow, and whenever people deviate from their workflow, it will immediately give a signal. And you can also use simple reports that are very easy for people to understand instead of using a lot of complicated reports. In fact, Toyota way they talk about a report which is like one page, right? Any financial decision, any make or buy decision, any major decision, they bring it to one page so that people can just go through it and take a decision. So make it simple, make the reports very simple for people to understand and comprehend. Then eighth point is use only reliable, thoroughly tested or time tested technology that serves your people and processes. So this is again a very counterintuitive approach. Many companies we have seen, they immediately, when any new technology comes in, they immediately go and invest a lot of money and effort in that technology. But after some time, people will not use that particular mission. There are a lot of these special purpose missions which we have seen in many companies. They will be in one corner of the building. they would have tried developing their own machinery, and after some time people will not use it. Lean is slightly against that, and they say use single purpose machine which are proven and they do that particular activity well, right? And when they say that, they are not against that bringing automation or something, but what lean talks about is use a time tested or proven technology rather than jumping into all these new technologies, right? Once the technology becomes proven, we can always start using it. So new technology is often unreliable and impacts the flow. When we are considering a new technology, we have to look at the flow which we have already created in the second point, right? Creating continuous flow. So flow is important. We don't want to create batches, we don't want WEP, right? So any technology that hinders the flow should be avoided, right? So, and also conduct actual tests before implementing the new technology. And then the ninth point is talking about growing leaders, right? People and partners. This is growing leaders who are inside the system, who live the philosophy and they can teach to other people, right? The Toyota way talks about grooming the internal leaders rather than getting leaders from outside. So what they prescribe is don't get the leaders from outside, grow leaders within the company. A leader's job is not only the accomplishing the task and good people handling, but they also follow the lean principles, the long-term philosophy, and they become a role model of the company philosophy, and they must understand the daily work in great details. And the next point is develop exceptional people and teams who follow the company's philosophy. Create a stable culture. Again, if you look at the long-term philosophy, it talks about this stable culture, and train exceptional individuals and teams to work with corporate philosophy. Use cross-functional teams and make continuous effort towards teamwork, right? So these are all the principles which they talk about people and partners. And when they come to partners, that is the vendors, they say respect your extended network of partners and suppliers by challenging them and helping them to improve. Many companies, when they work with the suppliers, they work with them on a very short term or project basis. For example, the company will create a drawing and then they go and talk to the suppliers on developing that particular product or getting that product. But Toyota, if you look at read the book called The Mission That Changed the Way, Toyota works with the suppliers from the design stage itself, right? When the part needs to be designed, at that time itself they engage with the vendors and they work collaboratively with the vendors. Vendors are also interested in this product, and then they look at the overall design, everything. Vendors inputs also taken into the product design. And the next point is problem solving, right? Go and see for yourself to thoroughly understand the situation. That is, go to the Gemba, right? So many times the senior management, the senior people, they want to solve the problem, but they sit in the boardroom or conference room and they discuss the problem. But the problem actually happens in the Gemba, right? So the Toyota way talks about go to the Gemba to understand the issues in depth and take corrective action there itself, right? And think and speak based on the verified data, right? So it talks about go to Gemba. That is very, very important activity. That is the 12th point. And then make decisions slow by consensus, thoroughly considering all the options, and implement decision rapidly. Again, in problem solving, they talk about this particular culture of Toyota. When the team discusses a problem, right? They look at all the options, they consider all the alternatives, and they involve all the team members, and then they collect ideas and they build consensus, right? And together the team comes to a consensus. Once the consensus is achieved, the implementation happens very rapidly, right? So the initial decision making, the consensus may take some time, but the decision making, the implementation will be fast. So this is a very interesting point which is shared in that particular book. The last point is become a learning organization through relentless reflection and continuous improvement. That is, understand your process again and again, right? Take corrective action. There is no fixed time period for lean. It's a continuous journey. Go to the Gemba, look at the problem, talk with data, then take corrective action, expose waste and encourage the employees to eliminate those waste, continuous training and developing organizational knowledge for sustaining the initiatives. So these are the 14 points which are mentioned in that Toyota Way book. I will also quickly summarize these points. So the point number 1 is the long-term philosophy, that is principle 1. Base your management decisions on long-term philosophy, not at the short-term activities. Second one is the process part. The right process will produce the right results. So this particular section has 7 points from 2 to 8, that is creating continuous flow, then using pull systems to avoid overproduction, leveling out the workload, that is Heijunka, build a culture of stopping the line to fix problems, and then standardize tasks for which are the foundation of continuous improvement, and then visual controls so that no problems are hidden, and finally use only reliable and time tested technology that serves the people and the processes. So this is for the second P, that is the process. And the third P is the people and partners, points 9, 10 and 11, which talks about growing leaders who thoroughly understand the work and live the philosophy and teach it to others. Develop exceptional people and teams who follow the company's philosophy. And point number 11 is respect your external partners, that is extended network of partners and suppliers by challenging them and helping them to improve. And finally, problem solving talks about continuous improvement, continuously solving the root problems, and drives organizational learning. Go and see yourself, that is go to the Gemba and understand the situation, that is called Genchi Gembutsu. And principle 13 is make decisions slowly by consensus, thoroughly considering all the options, and then finally implementing it fast, right? And 14th point is become a learning organization. It's a continuous process through internal reflection, that's called as Hensei. And continuous improvement, we all know that word called Kaizen, right? So these are the 14 points and 4 basic principles which are mentioned in the book called the Toyota Way. If you like this particular video, please like and subscribe to our channel. You can also put a thumbs up to our video so that whenever we post a new video, you'll get a notification. And we help organizations in implementing these lean principles and tools to help them improve their productivity. And in case you are interested in learning more about lean, there is a free course on lean manufacturing. The course link is mentioned in the description. You can also check it out. And thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the next video. See you. Bye.